It's official. We're live. Thanks very much for being here. Everybody who's joining us on Facebook Live, pleasure to have you with us. Today's session is creating sparks. And while it's pretty obvious what that paraliminal is all about, I'm going to offer you a different twist on it based on an experience somebody shared with us recently in his use of this paraliminal technology. That's why in the description of today's session, I put with any relationship or endeavor. And so I'll share that with you in just a moment. So creating sparks was predicated on an idea that all of us are a gigantic energy field. We have density, which is our physicality in our spinal column and spinal cord, but there's an energetic body around that dense thing, and we call it our physical body. It's our flesh, it's our bones, it's our fingernails, our hair. That's our physicality. Surrounding that is a subtler energy field, and that's the emotional body. And we'll sense our emotions along a midline of our physical body. So when a person's feeling up, literally the energy is more up in their physical. When they're feeling down, it moves down. When a person's under pressure, they'll feel it in their gut or their chest. And when they're feeling alive and lively, there's an opening, an expression, an expansion that happens from within. So that energetic body, we'll call it the emotional body, is very closely linked to the physical body, but it's different than just pure physical nature of our cells. Surrounding those two are what we would call a subtler field still. It's the mental body. If you've ever thought about a thought occurring to you, you may say something like, it came out of the blue. Well, what does that mean? Researchers have figured out that our mind isn't limited to the space of our cranium. Mind is actually 360 degrees around us. So thoughts will come in and merge in convergent zones within us that seem to be more embodied or physical, but they're literally in an information space that's all around. Now, there's a subtler field still that's called the spiritual body. I won't get into that quite yet, but there's a NASA scientist who looked at these energetic bodies. A woman named Barbara Brennan, she wrote a book called Hands of Light. It was about how to use hands-on healing work. She's very interested in how that worked, and she described these, we could call them auras, that are around each person. These aura fields can actually be seen. We tend to look through them, and when we see another person or another object, we'll often see the energy of that object. Try it when you're on a walk. Look at a tree, but look over the top of the tree, and as you kind of gently gaze, you'll see the energy field, the life energy of a tree. Same is true with people. So the idea of creating sparks is that your energy field and another person's energy field interact. And when you can sense that proximity, what you're doing is you're opening these energy fields to interact with the open energy fields of another person. So creating sparks is literally the sparks that emerge when these two energy fields start to interact with each other. Obviously, this is great for romance. It's a great way to start a relationship, realizing that it's not just what's in my head and the dialogue I'm having. It really is an energetic connection that I'm looking for. So whether it's for romance, for love, for passion, or whether it's for adventure, the idea is we can access these energy fields and purposely or intentionally expand that energy to encompass another person. And this is interesting. I was at a conference, the International Leadership Conference, speaking at a workshop, and I met a couple who do leadership development work with horses as their dominant metaphor. So here's what happens. There's a horse in a corral. The person in the training steps into the corral and just notices their own energy field. And very slowly, step by step, will walk toward that horse on the far end of the corral. At some point, they will begin to recognize the heartbeat of the horse. Yeah. You see, the heartbeat of a horse sends out this sine wave, this standing wave that is emanating from the heart of that horse. And as soon as it is detected in the person in the training, they're to stop and allow themselves to feel that resonant frequency of the horse. When they feel it, they'll take one step back, and what will happen is the horse will step towards them one step to maintain that connection. Is that cool? It's so cool. And as soon as I heard it, I said, that's what my paraliminal is about, creating sparks. It literally is about feeling that resonant frequency. So depending upon your intention for the use of it, this is a great one to use, certainly around the Valentine's Day holiday. My wife and I love it. This is a way that my wife and I have been able to maintain a beautiful, loving relationship for the 43 years of our marriage, 44 in August, and also for the 3.5 years prior to our marriage. So we've known each other a long time, and understanding energetics is an important part of all of that. So here is the new twist on this concept. Got an email from a man who's a professional musician, and he had found himself kind of in a lull, stagnant, not really generating a lot of work that he relies on for his livelihood. So he decided to listen to creating sparks for his music, his relationship with his music. Is that cool? And what he discovered is that music became his muse, it became his lover, it became his partner, it became his passion. And the passion, which is that heart-centered energy field, really opened up. He said within a couple of weeks, he had produced more music than he had in the prior year, and some of the best work he had ever produced. I said, oh my goodness, I'd never even thought of it. So I went back and I listened to the paraliminal from the perspective that he had shared. And sure enough, you can do it. Now, it really is, the scripting of it is really focused on an individual, a person. However, if in your mind you just reframe it about this body of work that you're choosing, or for example, I'm going to launch a new program very shortly, and it's over the internet, and it's going to be an online program, and it's going to be an audience that I'm speaking to. What if I'm using the internet as this energetic bond, this connection to help reach and passionately enroll people in this program and these concepts I absolutely love and I know are going to make a difference for everyone's life that's on that program listening to me. Do you get what I'm talking about? So I started playing with it, and I have to tell you, it really does bring a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, a lot of romance, a lot of creativity, a lot of adventure into any endeavor that I focus my attentional field on. Hey, I'm an energetic field, you're an energetic field. We're interacting here across this cyberspace, but you feel me, you get it. This is how energy works. So let's use it to the highest good, liberating the passion and freedom in our lives to have our best expression each and every day. Thanks very much for participating. I'm looking forward to seeing you again on our next session. Peace and blessings.